Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Trashing gold, silver, and copper. Let's explore! Yes, this is an article that comes to us from Kitco. Indeed, and it is about e-waste and $57 billion thrown away in gold, silver, and copper. But before we start, I want to encourage you to, casually just hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to necessarily caress it gently. You don't necessarily have to smash it or crush it or anything like that. Just casually just reach on over and just hit it. Spend some energy, maybe, that helps the video, helps the channel out. I very much appreciate it. And certainly I hope you share this video if you found it useful. But the article goes on to say here that consumers around the world, they threw away $57 billion last year, according to a report from the United States, from the United Nations Global E-Waste Monitor 2020. According to the latest report published Monday, e-waste, anything with a plug or battery, hit a record 53.6 million tons in 2019, increasing 21% from the previous year. Just goes to show you how much of a consumer nation we are and how much precious metals are wasted. Out of all the electronic items thrown away, only 17.4% valued at $10 billion were recycled last year. So there's a lot of it that's not being recycled. So all the gold, silver, and copper, platinum, and other high value recoverable materials, conservatively valued at $57 billion, a sum greater than the gross domestic product of most countries, were mostly dumped or burned rather than being collected for treatment and reuse, the report said. And here we kind of have a little infographic that shows all the different e-waste and things like that, and that is being done here. $57 billion, $10 billion that's actually recycled there, and 4 metric tons of raw materials. Fascinating. Asia generated the highest volume of e-waste last year, totaling some 24.9 million tons. Meanwhile, followed the Americas, produced 13 million tons of e-waste. So that's a big difference between what's going on in Asia compared to here in the Americas, in North America, countries here. Well, I guess this whole hemisphere, really. 13 million tons of e-waste in Europe created 12 million tons. Africa and Oceania generated 2.9 million tons and 0.7 million tons, respectively. The United Nations projects that e-waste could rise to 74 million tons by 2030. I think by then we'll probably have more recycling avenues, and precious metals may become worth recycling even more so than they are now. It's essential to substantially increase the official documented 17.4 global e-waste collection and recycling rate, especially in the view of rapid growth of the waste stream, the report said. And the value of precious metals going up as well, I would add to that. You think about the Asian markets, especially China. Their economy has grown, spectacularly in the last 50 years. It's been absolutely stunning how fast their economy has grown. And they have the largest population. China especially has the largest population in the world. And so it makes sense, and all this huge demand for these metals. And what's happening, a lot of it's being discarded. And probably most of that is silver, is my guess, of all the precious metals out there. And that is where the argument comes from, that silver is discarded, whereas gold is hoarded. But there's a lot of gold being wasted as well. But make no mistake, the price rises up to a certain level, that metal can and will be recovered. I remember I posted a video quite some time ago about how they can recover silver now from sewage. That's right, they can sift it out of sewage and then take it and recover it. So that's the kind of thing we're talking about here that could potentially lead to another supply chain or another source for silver for things that we utilize, either new electronics or as bullion products. We know we've heard about what was known as Ohio Precious Metals and Elemental. They used to recycle silver, and there is other places around that do that. And just that's the kind of thing we're looking at, and why people generally aren't or shouldn't be worried about running out of the metal, unless there's some other reason why it can't be recycled. But my guess is it can, and this particular document is saying it should be. And considering how fast this waste is being done, I mean, that's a lot of money being thrown away just in the metals, and that's just electronics. What about other things that silver is in that is being wasted, or gold is in that's wasted? What about things like silver infused masks now that are out there, clothing, consumables like colloidal silver and other applications? There's plenty of other areas where silver is being consumed, and gold is being consumed, and it is being thrown away, and it's not accounted for in these numbers. And so that's the kind of thing you have to take into account and consideration here too. So there's two aspects of this. This means that if supply chains do tighten up, or mining dries up in some places, the price will probably go up, and it will go up to a certain level where it's going to make economic sense to recycle from these areas that aren't being touched right now. And that's the kind of thing you have to keep in mind out there in terms of silver. Of course, when that happens, new silver is hitting the market, and then the price will subside back down a little bit, but probably not down to the levels where it was before. And then technology improves, and they're able to do the recycling more efficiently and cost effectively, therefore cutting back on some of that production cost, which means that in theory the price could go even lower. We'll see how it plays out, but I think with the reports about primary silver mining decreasing fairly dramatically, and depending on the demand for other base metals out there from which silver is made as a byproduct, we're going to see a time when this is going to be essentially the new world of mining silver and gold from stockpiles, trashing. So this is a video about trashing gold and silver and copper and other precious metals, but we only say that lovingly because of what is happening, that the world is trashing it, and we want to see it recovered in due course. And there you go, interesting story. Post your thoughts below about this exciting and interesting information, and I know some of you have seen some videos on YouTube on how silver and gold is recovered from electronics. It takes some chemicals, dangerous chemicals to do. I would never attempt it myself, but other people have, and have been able to see the fruits of their labor on their videos. It's pretty interesting and fascinating indeed. But post your thoughts below. I want to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch this video, and I want to encourage you to please, again, rate, comment, share, and subscribe.